everybody. Welcome back to Ghosting with Anya. I'm Anya Smith, also the author of Anya's Ghost Stories Volume 1 and Volume 2, The Return of the Dead. Hi, Chris. Thanks for participating. And we have a little kitty here next to me on my desk. So, this morning I went to the movies, like I said last night. So I went to see a movie called He-Man, Master of the Universe. I mean, it was okay, but it's not really my favorite show or a movie, but it was fine. So Chris also says we had spaghetti tonight for dinner, and yes, we did. So we got a new washer and dryer. We finally got it yesterday, and it took me 3 loads to get my clothes to wash up and dried. So it turned out very well. So I did my load again today. I'm still waiting for my dresser. So anyway, today was a wonderful day, and I got the house cleaned up a little bit, got the food cooked up, just doing the dishes like always every night, with the dishwasher. So, okay, so today we have a really new awesome story. It's called The Cellar Door in Winter. Something to do with the cellar. I don't know why there's a cellar. I mean, it's kind of freaky, but anyway, we just got back from exercising. It is extremely hot out. It's like almost 100 degrees.
Hey, baby.
Hi, Chris. Anyway, yes. So my cat almost ran outside, and we had to make sure she did not. So every night at 8 p.m., as soon as I'm about to go upstairs, as soon as I get up here, she decides to take my chair. I gotta move a lot faster so she would not get into my chair. Anyway, but our house is clean a bit, and well, anyway, thank you guys for subscribing and continue on doing that. And I hope you guys have shared my channel with all over the towns or the countries or whatever. If you know someone who loves paranormal stuff, you can share my channel with them. So if you go to YouTube and click search and type Ghosting with Anya, my first name is Anya, and it's in 4 letters, Anya. So that's how you pronounce my name, Anya, instead of Anya. I mean, a lot of people pronounce my name kind of like Anya or Anna. It's so weird. I mean, I have a stepdad named Michael who could not pronounce my name a lot right. So he called me Anna all the time because he didn't know how to pronounce my name right. So, but yes, if you guys can't scan the QR code, that's fine. You guys can just type Ghosting with Anya on YouTube, and it will appear to you. So my channel will appear to you, and you guys can click like, share, and subscribe, and you guys can watch all of my episodes, especially from last year, like a little after, like around April, I think, of last year, when I was on my first season, when I first started of my first episode. And anyway, but yeah, so we have come to season 5, which is took us right here to our new location. We have our own new house. This is our new studio that you see behind me is the closet. Sorry about this. I'm wearing a tank top because it is so hot outside, and I have my sweater around my waist in case I get cold. I'm still knitting, by the way, doing the knit one, purl one stitch, the technique. You can do multiple techniques with it. You can do all the knits or all the purls. You can do 2 knits or 2 purls, or you can do 1 knit and 1 purl. So you can do with circular needles or straight knitting, or like straight needles. You can crochet them too. Any kind of crochet hooks you have, doesn't even matter, but it's fun for me. It's almost like I am doing a job, making stuff for people and selling them on OfferUp. So I love doing that. Anyway, let's get started on the story. Just get something to drink, sit back, relax, and please click like, share, and subscribe to Ghosting with Onion live stream. If you wish to say something about paranormal experience or any stories, you guys can leave me a comment down below right here on live stream. So if you have any experience, if you have any stories about it, you can definitely leave me a comment down below. So anyway, let's get started on the story. And thanks, guys, for subscribing. And I would love for you guys to support this channel and continue subscribing. It makes my day, like a positive, great day. So let's get started. We're still in season 5. We are in episode 155. The cellar door in winter. Beth and Owen rented the farmhouse because they wanted distance from town and believed silence would repair things they were too tired to discuss directly. The place stood alone at the edge of flat winter fields with a collapsed barn, a rusted pump handle, and a kitchen large enough to make any unhappiness sound smaller for a while. The landlord had warned them the house was old but sturdy, though the root cellar beneath the kitchen should be kept shut because the latch was unreliable and the stairs unsafe. Beth accepted that easily enough. Old rural homes often have one door no one uses, and no, Tally, no, you cannot mess with that. One move and everything will be gone here, okay? So, all right. And no one questions. The cellar entrance lay beneath a square wooden hatch near the pantry shelves, flush with the floor and bolted from above. For the first week, they forgot it existed. Then the knocking started. Something tells me that in that old farmhouse with the cellar, somehow holds something, maybe old memories or something paranormal that's down there, like say secrets, I'm guessing, and probably a lot of spirits, perhaps the ancient spirits, maybe. Anyway, but yeah, let me know in the comments if you think this might be related to any story or to any real life events. So anyway, let me know what you guys think, and perhaps maybe we can search it. So, sweetie, come on. Why don't you go with Daddy? Here you go. Go see Daddy. Go on, go see Daddy. Good girl. Sorry about that. I just want to make sure my cat didn't mess with the laptop that I use for this podcast that I'm doing right now. But yeah, all right, let's continue on the story. If you guys have any questions, you're always welcome to leave me a nice, positive comment, and I'll read it. So just let me know what you guys think. It came only at night and only after the fire in the front room burned low enough for the house to settle inward. Around them, 3 knocks from beneath the kitchen floor, then silence. Then 2 lighter taps several minutes later. Owen thought it had to be pipes or frost movement in the foundation. Beth disagreed immediately because the sound was too placed, too deliberate, as if made by knuckles instead of wood. The second night she counted the rhythm. The third night she noticed it stopped when either of them stepped into the kitchen. By the fourth, the knocking returned, even while she stood at the sink, and it came directly from under the cellar hatch. Owen still wanted logic. He tapped the hatch with the heel of his boot and waited. Nothing. Then from below, the same pattern answered back. Well, that's scary. I mean, if you ever been to this kind of place, like off the grid, maybe, if you see a farmhouse, maybe, if you ever decided to explore that place, or like decided to rent it or buy it, you might as well investigate that place and see what's down there and who's making all that creepy noises at night. I mean, if I were them, and I would probably literally want to investigate it instead of ignoring it. You have to notice that shit. You cannot just ignore it. Something bad will happen if you keep ignoring it. The noise can go even louder than that. Like extremely louder. You won't be able to get some sleep. It's going to keep on going until you lose your mind. This is why you have to investigate it. You have to find out what's going on. This is why. So let's continue on the story. And we'll figure it out with the questions, including some answers to go through.
Holy crap, is that a dryer?
Neither of them slept much after that. In daylight, the hatch looked harmless, just aged boards and a rusted bolt. Owen checked the exterior foundation wall, looking for some animal access or hidden gap. Nothing, Beth asked the nearest neighbor, Mrs. Weller, whether the previous tenants had ever mentioned noises from the kitchen. The old woman grew quiet in a way that meant the answer existed before the question finished. She said people around there used to talk about the cellar back when the house belonged to the Harrow family during one brutal winter many years earlier. A young farmhand helping them was said to have gone missing after a storm. Some believed he ran off. Others said he slipped on the cellar stairs while carrying coal or preserves. Nobody was ever formally recorded, and rural records from those years were poor, but folks used to say the floor kept trying to remind people, Mrs. Weller said. I think has something to do maybe with a young man who somehow got trapped underneath the house in a cellar, kept banging and kept trying to figure it out a way how to find his way out so he can, find some help maybe or something like that. But I'm guessing somehow maybe his ghost is still in there in the house. He must have died from thirst and starvation. So no wonder why he's still there. I guess we'll find out. So let's continue on the story. It's just so sad when the farm boy died.
Yes.
I think he was like in his early 20s or something. It reminds me of Tom Welling when he was at that age, when he was filming Smallville show as the Superman. I mean, his character, Clark Kent, was just a regular farm boy, and he actually did all the farm stuff a lot.
Yes.
But I think they actually had a cellar. I mean, like, they did everything, so it depends. But Clark is different from anyone else. That's just how he is.
Yes,
still a farm
true.
boy. Yeah, but he is still a farm boy, and then he ends up being a Superman, like saving the world constantly from Lex Luthor, the villain. All right, so let's continue on the story. I hope this story makes any sense to you guys who are watching the show. It's 34 minutes after 8, which means that my husband's grandparents went to sleep because they have a lot of chores to do the next morning by 6 a.m. So, but yeah. Owen mocked the idea publicly and believed none of it privately, which is its own kind of fear. One Sunday afternoon, determined to end the issue, he slid back the bolt and lifted the hatch. The smell rising from below was not rot exactly, but cold earth, damp wood, and old iron shut away too long. Narrow stairs descended into darkness with a dirt floor at the bottom and shelves lining the walls. Beth stayed above holding the flashlight while Owen went halfway down. Nothing moved, no animal darted, no hidden person crouched in the corners. He found empty jars, a broken crate, and a heavy iron hook fixed into one beam for reasons neither of them understood, satisfied, and a little embarrassed by their own nerves. He came back up, shut the hatch, and reset the bolt. That night, the knocking changed it because it became frantic. Kelly, what you doing, boo-boo? What you doing, baby? Meow. What you doing, sweetie? Don't mess with mommy's things, okay? Someone needs to get a little brushed up. Can you give her some brushies?
I'll give her some later. She's fine.
All right. Well, it's around here somewhere in the house.
True.
Shouldn't it be like in the living room?
Yeah, somewhere.
Okay. I just want to make sure she gets all the brushies.
Okay.
She's supposed to get groomed like every week.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Okay, so I hope this makes sense to you all. Anyway, yeah, whatever that shit is. Ugh. Okay, so I hope you guys are not scared of this story because things happen all the time just because of the farming story and very tragic death that happened like over 40 years ago, somewhere around there, or 50 or 60 years ago. I don't really know. Ooh, 254. Yay.
Good.
Yeah, my blood sugar has been going up and down constantly, and I gotta do meds soon. I will have the angel food cake after this. So, okay, it is 8:37. I'm not gonna wrap it up just yet, but anyway, let's continue on the story. I hope that this makes any sense to you guys. Let me know in the comments to what you think about this. Do you think this actually happened, or this is just a story that hasn't even happened yet? Let me know what you think. The blows hammered from below hard enough to rattle the dishes. In the cupboard, Beth and Owen stood frozen in the hall while the sound pounded upward with awful human desperation. Fist against wood paws, fist again, faster now, and as if the one thing the presence feared most was being left closed in once more. Beth wanted to leave the house immediately. Owen, pale and finally done pretending, grabbed the fireplace poker and reopened the hatch. The knocking stopped at once. They waited in the doorway, listening to their own breathing and the small wind outside scraping snow against the walls. Then a voice rose from below. Not loud, not supernatural in the theatrical sense. Just a young man's voice, made thin by distance and cold. Don't latch it, it said. Beth began crying before she knew why. The next morning, they went into town and found the oldest land records and oral history references what emerged was messy, but enough during a blizzard. In 1912, a hired hand named Eli Turner had been helping the Harrows board the cellar and secure food stores. A child in the house fell ill upstairs. Panic spread, and in the confusion, Eli was sent below for more coal or ice. Records differed at some point. The hatch was pulled shut, whether by accident or by someone assuming he had already come back up. No one could later say the storm lasted long enough that by the time anyone realized he was missing, the cellar was snow-packed from outside and the family themselves had half out of their minds with sickness and fear. The official story became disappearance because the alternative was too cruel to live under. Beth understood then why the knocking had worsened after Owen first opened the hatch. The cellar had not wanted inspection. It had wanted the door left unbolted. So they did that, not carelessly, but intentionally. Owen repaired the broken latch so the hatch could rest closed without locking. Beth placed a lantern on the top stair each night and left it burning low until dawn. The knocking never stopped immediately, but it softened over the next week from panic into occasional taps, then into silence, broken only once or twice by what sounded like a hand brushing the underside of the wood rather than striking it. On their final night, before deciding whether to stay through spring, Beth woke to a cold draft and found the hatch standing open by itself. The lantern downstairs was still lit on the dirt floor below. Visible in its weak glow were a pair of wet footprints leading up to steps and then disappearing, not out into the kitchen, just gone, as if whoever had tried for so long to get out no longer needed the full climb. They kept the farmhouse. People who heard the story assumed they were reckless. But Beth always answered that fear changes once you know what it is asking for. The cellar no longer felt hostile. It felt acknowledged, and she and Owen never bolted the hatch again. Each winter, on the first storm night, Beth left a lantern there, and Owen set a mug of hot coffee on the top step out of practical tenderness. He never would have admitted in younger years. Some houses, Beth came to believe, are haunted, not by evil, but by one neglected act whose consequences went unnamed too long. When the living stopped repeating the neglect, the haunting sometimes changes its posture. This is so freaky, you guys. I mean, and sad and just so tragic. I mean, I hope you guys are listening very carefully. If you have any family members who actually have the farmhouse, and if they had any experience with it in the past, let me know, and we'll try and see if it's gonna let us investigate. So, anyway, just let me know what you guys think. All you gotta do is leave me a comment down below, and I'll read what you guys wrote. And I will probably agree with you guys. So anyway, now that the story is done, we should probably go with questions. If you have any questions, just let me know. I will try my best to give you some answers. So we are in 30 minutes now, and it's almost 9 o'clock. So anyway, I don't have anything going on with my friend. It's probably, almost 9, so it's like 8:46 p.m. So now we're gonna go with questions. If you have any questions about the story and how tragic it can be, how can you guys help the spirits move on in the afterlife, like literally. So just let me know. My baby's probably about to go to sleepy sleep. She just wants my chair because she likes it, because she feels comfortable with it. Anyway, so let's get started on the questions. We only have 10 questions, and hopefully I can give you 10 answers. I'll just try my best. So, all right, let's get started. Would you have opened the cellar hatch after the knocking answered back? Sorry about that, people. But yes, I actually would. I mean, if you have any idea about this, just let me know. So, anyway, like I said before, I hope you guys, best way. But if you ever gone to the cellar, if you heard any weird noises, but let me know what you guys think. I mean, here's a question for you all. Would you have opened the cellar hatch after the knocking answered back? I would probably do that. Chris, would you?
Yes.
Here's the question again. Would you have opened the cellar hatch after the knocking answered back? I mean, literally. This is a question for you. Would you have opened the cellar hatch after the knocking answered back?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I wanted. So, if you want to know more about it, just leave me a comment down below if you have any questions, and we will probably try and figure out a way to get all of the answers back. I mean, literally. So, anyway, let's go with number 2. If you have any questions and answers, just let me know in the comments. So, let's go to number 2 as I stroke my little kitty. What scared you more, the tapping or the desperate pounding later? Well, that's a good question. If you ever had anything like that, if you ever lived in a farm, like off the grid maybe, away from a town, like say a mile or 2 miles away, but if you ever hear something creepy going on, would you ever be afraid of communicating with something that's underneath the house, like in a cellar?
No.
That's actually a good answer too. I probably would investigate it. I mean, you've got to. You can't just ignore it. But I would probably not want to stay. But it could be like the tapping. I think the pounding probably might be. So, all right, let's go to number 3. Do you think Eli wanted escape, recognition, or both? I think he wanted to get recognition and escape. He wanted all of that. He didn't like the part where the cellar door accidentally got locked up. The door got closed and locked, and never see his family again. So, do you guys think it was an accident, or do you think it happened on purpose?
Was an accident.
Yeah, I think it was an accident as well. So, let me know if you guys think that the Harrell family did this on purpose or someone else did it. Or do you guys think it's an accident? Just leave me a comment down below and we'll probably agree to all of that. So I think Eli wanted both. He wanted to get noticed and he wanted to escape. He just wanted to, figure out how to move on in the afterlife. Let's go to number 4. Why do old cellar spaces feel so unnerving in winter stories? Well, they have a lot of history and memories and a lot of weird shit going on, especially in a wintertime. Like if you live in a farmhouse and you're doing what you're normally doing, like doing farm stuff, chores, taking care of the house and the animals, But if you go to that cellar and you feel like someone is there, but you don't really know for sure, and it can be unnerving. It's like you are being haunted by something that's not really there. It's possible that it can be very violent, creepy way. So, but yeah. Anyway, just let me know what you guys think about it, and we'll all figure it out. It feels like very scary and creepy. To me, it's like both, I guess. I have a lot of weird feelings about shit like that, especially at the Museum of Shadows in downtown Omaha. We can go in there whenever we need to. We don't go there constantly because Chris has to work until 4:30, do some grocery shopping on Thursdays, and getting the house cleaned up and everything, paying the bills and everything. Laundry needs to be done. Dishes needs to be done. The cat needs to be fed. All that shit. So bills needs to be paid. Like literally. Anyway, but this can be even more unnerving. It can be a lot creepier. I'm not scared, but sometimes I can be, but just depends. Anyway, I hope you guys are brave enough to listen to all this. If you feel uncomfortable with it, that's okay. This channel might not be for you, but that's okay. Let's go to number 5. All right, we are in 5 questions left before I sign off. Was Owen right to investigate, or should they have left immediately?
They should have left immediately.
Well, they would have, but I think Owen did the right thing to investigate. If I were Owen and Beth, I mean, if you and I were them, we would probably have to investigate and go to the archives and find out what really happened in 1912.
Mm-hmm.
Like in December or something. November
Yes.
or December. But yeah, I think he did the right thing. Let me know in the comments if you think that Owen did the right thing. So just let me know, and we'll figure some shit out. What do you make of the voice saying, "Don't latch it"? I think somehow Eli didn't like when the door cellar got closed and locked, because maybe he was afraid of small spaces. He could suffocate just like that. No wonder why he didn't want the door to be latched. So, which means that he is afraid of small spaces. No wonder why. But do you guys think Eli was afraid of small spaces and could end up dead?
Yes.
I think so too. So, all right, let's go to number 7. Can acknowledgement really change the tone of a haunting? Yes, it can. Of course, it can. I mean, it can change anything. If you acknowledge any spirit, like at your own house, you can definitely acknowledge it. Don't ignore it. Do what you gotta do. Do the right thing, and talk to people. Talk to the landlords, your neighbors, anyone who has a history of a lot of paranormal activity. I mean, talk to the owners and see what they're gonna say. Maybe they might.
Maybe.
But I think they did the right thing, but yes, of course it can. So, all right, let's go to number 8. Why do families sometimes preserve softer versions or of cruel truths? Maybe they're in denial because they're afraid what could happen. They're just they're trying to keep it as they are, like the version of the stories, because they're just too scared, I guess. I don't have any words for that. I mean, they just don't know how to handle all that shit, and they don't know if any of the other people can like handle all that shit, and that's why they never tell people about their haunted farmhouse. So a lot of families are just afraid to admit it. They just don't know how to tell them the truth. If the truth comes out, people are like still in process and laughing at their faces, mocking them, pointing at them, that sort of thing. They would not believe any shit. They think that they're making that shit up. No wonder why. A lot of families are afraid to admit of what happened to them. They think that these families are crazy. They should be locked up in an institute or something like that, in an asylum, that sort of thing. This is why families avoid telling stories of what happened to them, because they would know they would not be believed. So that's why they avoid shit like that. Because it's hard for them. That's why. All right, we got 2 questions before I sign off. And it's already 9 p.m. So we're in 44 or 45 minutes now. Yeah. Would you have stayed in the farmhouse after learning the story? Yes, I would definitely want to stay and continue investigating it and learn how to share a living space with the dead. Like, literally. Like, say, Eli. If I ever lived in a farm, I would try my best to share my living space with it.
Good idea.
I would communicate with it gently and be respectful to the spirit, and the spirit would be respectful to me. Not to scare people like that, especially on Halloween. And I would definitely continue living there if I were Owen or Bethany. But yeah, if you ever decide to live in a farmhouse with the spirit, you might be okay. If Eli was the friendliest ghost on earth, you would probably be happy about it. But as long as you don't latch the deadbolt on the door cellar, and Eli and Beth, including Owen, would live a very happy family, even though Eli's a ghost. So, but I probably would, yes. Okay, one last question before I sign off. If one repeated act of neglect built a haunting, what act of care might undo it?
An act of kindness.
Of course, yes. Made sure that the hatch would not be bolted ever again. Made sure Eli the ghost was acknowledged and remembered the way he was when he was alive in 1912.
Mm-hmm.
And we would tell Eli that everything's going to be okay. I think we can live in the same house if Eli wished to, that sort of thing. We would tell Eli that he is more than welcome to stay as long as he respects our boundaries and the rules. And everything will be all right. That sort of thing. We can coexist between the living and the dead. That is more kindness. Just be respectful to the spirits. I probably would. Okay, we are out of time, so I just want to say thank you, guys. So tomorrow we'll be doing the new story. It is called The Choir Behind the Curtain, which is episode 156. So, yeah. Anyway, get ready for tomorrow's episode at the same time, which is 8 o'clock at night until around 9 p.m. So yeah, we are almost an hour long. But anyway, thank you guys and have a wonderful night. Stay safe and stay spooky as well. And just have fun and have a great summer. And may God bless you and protect you at all times. Here's my advice. Never, ever, ever use a Ouija board. That is dangerous. Do not touch it. Do not play with it, because you never know what you will unleash from that thing. So you never know who you might unleash from the board. So my advice is to stay away from the Ouija boards and just let the professionals do their job with the spirits, and everything will be all right. So again, thank you guys and have a great summer and have a wonderful night, and we'll see you all tomorrow Please click like, share, and subscribe. And have a wonderful night. And thanks for watching. Bye.